This week on the Triple Play, Crimson Desert gets a downgrade on consoles, Assassin's Creed leaks on itself so much that Ubisoft buys stock in Levi's, and Tifa's coming to Street Fighter. Let's get into this before I lose it all over the internet today. First up on today's Triple Play, Crimson Desert gets a graphical downgrade according to some pretty angry console players that have noticed an incremental decrease in graphical fidelity with every patch that has been implemented to upgrade the overall experience. I, for one, don't have this issue because I have a pretty beastly PC that I've invested in for my business needs.
Nice.
At least that's what I tell my wife. Hi, honey. I'm not the kid out there mowing lawns and riding a paper route to... Wait, kids don't do that anymore, do they? Well, I'm a long way from the frustrated teenager I once was, trying to save up every dollar I have to invest in half-decent frame rates and enjoy every pixel that had the opportunity to bless my screen with its colorful presence.
Damn, I'm looking good.
But I do understand the struggle when it comes to expectations versus reality, but the last thing that I would expect if I'm dumping my hard-earned money into a game I've seen run fantastic initially on hardware that's been advertised to be able to do so, is for that same game to ever so slowly turn into some greasy oil painting or to have my load distance become a complete blur due to these updates. And players on the base model PlayStation and Xbox consoles are noticing this more than anywhere else, with even PlayStation Pro owners having noticeable issues with shadows and load distances being the main complaint, especially running in balance mode for whatever reason. And with console prices steadily starting to uncomfortably overlap into gaming PC territory, it's starting to make a lot of gamers wonder why. Well, the science behind the smear you might be experiencing is real, and it's called ray reconstruction smearing. It's a real technical issue where the AI tries to guess where light should be, but if the ray count is too low, which they did to save FPS, the AI just paints a blurry blob instead of a crisp shadow or vibrant patch of flowers and leaves, making everything just smudge across your screen to hide the instability of the game. This combined with the heavy AI denoiser and removal of shadow cascades to maintain a smooth 60 FPS on base consoles. The solution offered by devs: disable 120Hz at the OS level, essentially asking users to nerf their hardware. Look man, I get it. The optimization for a game at this scale is crazy good in my opinion, but the cost per frame on console is heavily starting to outweigh the acceptable margin for error in this situation. And I'm hoping that Pearl Abyss is able to fix this without resorting to further reducing draw distances and overall polish, because this game relies heavily on the presentation and breathtaking views. Next up is Assassin's Creed Black Flag re-leaked. When will this stop? I'm going to keep this one short and sweet this week because a lot of people jumped ship on the video the very second I mentioned Assassin's Creed last week. Which says to me that this topic is a dead horse. I really can't believe that Ubisoft can't see us all collectively rolling our eyes at this point. And it's ridiculous to think that us lowly gamers are so dumb that we don't know they are actually doing this intentionally. Until I remembered that they were able to just copy and paste the same game every year for the past decade and we bought it over and over again.
We are same, but different, but still same.
So there's that. If you happen to be one of the few people that hasn't heard yet, well, there's been some trailer leaks. A 10-second clip and several high-fidelity screenshots are circulating on X and the r/gaming leaks and rumors subreddit. Footage shows Edward Kenway in a cinematic standoff, Blackbeard on the deck of the Queen Anne's Revenge, and a quick cut to naval combat with significantly improved lighting and fire effects. The trailer was leaked in bits and pieces over the last 12 to 24 hours by a user named Intercellular on X. So head on over there if you want to check that out after the news. I'll leave the links in the description to all of these places so you can just hop on over there all easy peasy like. Last but certainly not least on today's Triple Play is the Street Fighter 6 Final Fantasy crossover. Yes, you heard it. Tifa Lockhart is coming to Street Fighter. The leak originated from a Reddit user and insider known as RNK_clan, whose credibility is currently very high because they're one of the only sources that correctly identified the whole Year 2 lineup months before Capcom confirmed them. 2027 marks the 30th anniversary of Final Fantasy VII, releasing Tifa in late 2026 or early 2027 would perfectly align with Square's typical cross-promotional marketing. The real story here is whether the Street Fighter diehards want this in the first place. It's the ultimate corporate fan service move. While everyone is fighting over whether guest characters even belong in Street Fighter, Capcom is likely just looking at the sales data and realizing that a Tifa skin is basically a license to print money because Tifa's got some serious fighting moves on her, am I right? I personally don't have skin in the game here. My Street Fighter days began and ended on the Super Nintendo. Perfect. Yes, I'm old. Yes, I'm gonna watch the movie, even if it's bad. Other characters coming to the Year 4 roster are also rumored to include Vega, Hagar, and Goken. Whatever, dude. I don't remember Guy, okay? As a little bonus complaint and possibly rage bait, yes, handheld gaming prices continue to skyrocket as much as 92% for the Legion Go 2, making it almost a staggering $3,000. At which point you would think a laptop would be the easy choice here. You would think. Steam Deck OLED prices are currently sitting at the $900 mark, if you can get one. But honestly, gamers are saying the value buy here, if you could ever call it that, is in the Xbox ROG Ally X, which is for now at least sitting at just over $1,000 US. It's also rumored that the next-gen console prices will also target the $1,000 mark, while the current console lineup just had a price jump of up to $150 across the board. The question remains, will there be an end to this AI bubble? And even if it does end, will this become the new price norm? I'm keeping my expectations aligned with reality here and also remembering what happened to GPU prices and the permanent price increase that also became the new norm since the Bitcoin mining surge of 2017. These things tend to become an excuse for companies to just leave it like it is because they know we'll play in the snow no matter how cold it gets. I feel like at this point there should be laws in place to regulate these things because this is crazy. Anyways, that's all I got for this week's Triple Play. Let me know in the comments how you feel about the permanent price hike, and will you be buying a next-gen console, or are you already looking at PC parts? Also, for all my Street Fighters out there, do you feel like guest characters are watering down the Street Fighter experience, or are you excited to see some new playable characters in the lineup? And if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel for more gaming-related content, including game don'ts, game do's, and game reviews. But for now, I gotta go find something less mentally taxing to complain about. So, later.